Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Once upon a time, in a small, quaint village, surrounded by lush forests, there lived a young girl named Goldilocks. Her hair was as golden as the sun, which earned her the name Goldilocks. She was known throughout the village for her curiosity and adventurous spirit, which often led her into the most unexpected of situations. One beautiful morning, Goldilocks decided to venture deeper into the forest than she had ever gone before. She loved exploring the woods, with its towering trees, chirping birds, and the occasional rustle of a small animal in the underbrush. She wandered along the winding paths, picking flowers and marveling at the natural beauty around her. She felt a sense of freedom and excitement, unaware of the adventure that awaited her. After walking for a while, Goldilocks came across a small clearing. To her surprise, in the middle of this clearing stood a quaint, charming cottage. She had never seen it before, and her curiosity was immediately piqued. Who lived there? She wondered. She looked around but saw no signs of life. The door was slightly ajar, and Goldilocks, being the inquisitive girl couldn't resist the urge to peek inside. She gently pushed the door open and called out, "Hello! Is anyone home?" There was no response. The cottage appeared to be empty. Goldilocks stepped inside, taking in the cozy interior. The cottage was warm and inviting, with a fireplace crackling softly, and the scent of freshly baked bread lingering in the air. The wooden furniture was simple yet sturdy, and there were colorful curtains on the windows that let in just the right amount of sunlight. In the middle of the room, there were 3 bowls of porridge set on the table, each with a spoon beside it. Goldilocks' stomach rumbled at the sight and smell of the delicious porridge. She realized she was quite hungry from her morning walk. She decided to try a little bit from each bowl, to see which one she liked best. She took a spoonful from the first bowl, and immediately winced. "This porridge is too hot," she exclaimed, setting the spoon back down. She moved on to the second bowl, and took a careful sip. "This porridge is too cold," she said with a frown. Finally, she tasted the porridge from the third bowl. A smile spread across her face. "Ah, this porridge is just right," she said happily, and she proceeded to eat it all up. With her hunger satisfied, Goldilocks looked around the room once more. She noticed 3 chairs of different sizes lined up near the fireplace. Feeling a bit tired, she decided to sit down and rest for a moment. She tried the largest chair first. "This chair is too big," she said, her feet dangling off the edge. Next, she sat in the medium-sized chair, but it was too soft. "This chair is too soft," she murmured, sinking into the cushions. Finally, she sat in the smallest chair, which fit her perfectly. "This chair is just right," she sighed contentedly. However, as she leaned back, the chair gave a loud crack and broke into pieces. Goldilocks tumbled to the floor, but fortunately, she wasn't hurt. She quickly got up, feeling a bit embarrassed, even though there was no one around to see her. Still feeling sleepy, Goldilocks decided to explore further. She climbed the stairs and found herself in a cozy bedroom, with 3 beds neatly made. The first bed was very large, and when she lay down on it, she found it too hard. "This bed is too hard," she said, rolling over and getting up. The second bed was medium-sized and very soft. "This bed is too soft," she said, sinking into the mattress. Finally, she lay down on the smallest bed. "Ah, this bed is just right," she whispered, pulling the blanket up to her chin. Within minutes, she was fast asleep. Meanwhile, the owners of the cottage, 3 bears, Papa Bear, Mama Bear, and Baby Bear, were returning from their morning walk. They had gone out to let their porridge cool down. As they approached the cottage, they noticed the door was open. Papa Bear who was the largest and strongest, entered first, followed by Mama Bear, who was gentle and caring, and Baby Bear, who was the smallest and most curious. Papa Bear immediately noticed something was amiss. "Someone's been eating my porridge," he growled, looking at his nearly untouched bowl. Mama Bear looked at her bowl and said, "Someone's been eating my porridge too, and it's all gone." Baby Bear, who loved his porridge the most, looked at his empty bowl and wailed, "Someone's been eating my porridge, and they've eaten it all up." The bears then moved to the sitting area. Papa Bear noticed his large chair had been moved. "Someone's been sitting in my chair," he rumbled. Mama Bear looked at her chair and said, "Someone's been sitting in my chair too." Baby Bear looked at his broken chair and cried, "Someone's been sitting in my chair, and they've broken it to pieces." The bears were now very curious and a little worried. They climbed the stairs to check the bedroom. Papa Bear saw his bed and said, "Someone's been sleeping in my bed." Mama Bear looked at her bed and said, "Someone's been sleeping in my bed too." Baby Bear looked at his bed and squeaked, "Someone's been sleeping in my bed, and she's still there." At that moment, Goldilocks woke up and saw the three bears staring at her. She was so frightened that she jumped out of bed and ran down the stairs as fast as she could. She dashed out of the cottage and ran through the forest, not stopping until she reached her home. The bears watched her go, then looked at each other, and burst out laughing. They weren't angry, they were just amused by the little girl's curiosity and the adventure she had brought into their lives. They decided to fix Baby Bear's chair, make more porridge, and ensure their door was always properly closed. Goldilocks learned a valuable lesson that day about respecting other people's property and the consequences of her actions. She never again wandered into someone else's home uninvited. Instead, she found new ways to satisfy her curiosity that didn't involve breaking and entering. As for the three bears, they lived peacefully in their cozy cottage, always remembering the day a little girl named Goldilocks had come into their lives and taught them a lesson about forgiveness and understanding. And so, Goldilocks and the three bears continued their lives with a newfound sense of awareness and respect for each other and the world around them. The tale of Goldilocks and the three bears became a story that was told and retold in the village, teaching children the importance of respect, responsibility, and the joys of unexpected friendships.